Hi and welcome to this video. So in this video, we will write our first C++ program. It would be a simple program which will print a line of statement on the computer screen, but it will introduce us to some important things in C++. So let's begin by creating a new project. So open your Xcode, create a new Xcode project. Select Mac OS and select Command Line tool in the application and then click on Next. We will give project name as my first program. And I will leave the rest of the things as it is. Now click on next and click create. Click on main.cpp file under my project folder. Now I will close the utility panel and I will delete all the code and write my own code. So I'm gonna write the code first and will explain that to you later. So as you had probably guessed, this program will print hello world. This is my first C++ program. So let's run and see what it shows. So I'm going to expand this window and close the debugger window to make more space for the output. So as you can see, it prints the statement hello world. This is my first C++ program. And after that, it prints program ended with exit code 0, which means your program ended successfully. Now let us understand our code. So the statement in the first line, my first C++ program, is a comment. Comments are statements written which are ignored by the compiler while building up the program. We simply write these comments for our helping purpose so that we can refer to them in the future. They are also helpful when you work within a team of programmers. So everything written after the double forward slash is considered to be a comment on that line. You can also write multi-line comments by doing this. So everything written between forward slash and the asterisk and asterisk followed by forward slash is considered to be a multi-line comment. Now the statement written on the second line is a preprocessing directive, which is a message to the C++ preprocessor. Lines which begins with hash are processed by the preprocessor before the program is compiled. This line notifies the preprocessor to include the contents of the input-output stream header IOStream in the program. The header file, that is IOStream, is a file containing information the compiler uses when compiling any program that outputs the data to screen or inputs the data from the keyboard. Till that, any program you use which takes input from the keyboard or outputs the data to the screen, then simply write this statement on the top of the code. Now, line 3 is a blank line, also known as white spaces. We make use of blank lines, spaces, and tabs to make the programs easier to read. These white spaces are ignored by the compiler. Then, in the fourth line, it is written int main, then round brackets and a left curly bracket. This is something called a function in C++. C++ programs consist of one or more functions and classes. Exactly one function in the program must be named main. C++ programs begin executing at the main function, even if main is not the first function defined in the program. The keyword int to the left of the main indicates that main returns an integer. A keyword is word in code that is reserved by the C++ language. You will understand more about how the main function works when we will study functions. For now, just include the main function in your every program. The code returned between the left braces and the right braces of the main function determines the body of the function. You will write your code in between these braces. Now, line 5 instructs the computer to perform an action, namely to print the characters contained between the double quotes on the screen. Together, the quotation marks and the characters between them are called a string or a string literal. White spaces in the strings are not ignored by the compiler. The entire line 5, including std, double colon, cout, the two less than operators, the string hello world, this is my first C++ program, the two less than operators, std, double colon, and l, and a semicolon is called a statement. Most of the C++ statements, not all, ends with a semicolon. Semicolon is also known as statement terminator. Preprocessing directives such as hash include does not end with a semicolon. The output and input in C++ are accomplished with streams of data. Thus, when this statement is executed, it sends the streams of characters hello world, this is my first C++ program, to the standard output stream object std double colon cout, which is normally connected to the screen. The std is a namespace which is required when we use names that we have brought into the program by the preprocessing directive hash include iostream. Namespaces are an advanced C++ feature that we will discuss in the later part of our course. But writing std double colon before each mention of cout can be cumbersome. We will soon see how to omit std double colon before each use of a name in the std namespace. The double colon is an operator called scope resolution operator. The double less than operator is called the stream insertion operator. When this program executes, the value to its right, that is, the right operand, is inserted in the output stream. Notice that the operator points toward where the data goes. At the end of the statement, we have again written the stream insertion operator, but this time it is used to end the line and point the cursor in the screen to the next line. Here, endl is a stream manipulator to end the line. The line 6, return 0, is one of the several ways we exit a function. When the return statement is used at the end of the main function, the value 0 indicates that the program has terminated successfully. The right curly brace indicates the end of the main function. According to the C++ standards, if a program execution reaches to the end of main function without encountering a return statement, it is assumed that the program terminated successfully. Thus, we can omit writing the last return statement in the main function. Thus, from now onwards, we won't be writing the return statement in the main function. Now, let's modify our program to print the statement in two lines by using only one cout statement. So what I did is I write \n before this is my first C++ program. Here n is called an escape character when used with backslash. What it does is it points the cursor to the next line on the screen. So now if we run the program, it should show hello world on one line and this is my first C++ program on second line. So as you can see, the two statements are written on different lines. There are many escape sequences which can be written between the double quotes in a string literal. You can check them out in the video resources. Now I'm going to give a challenge for you. So the challenge for this video is to create a program that prints your name, age, and your nationality all on different lines using only one cout statement. So pause the video now, and after you have done your solution, play the video to see my solution. So I guess it was pretty easy. You just needed to write all things in the cout statement we have used in this program and use escape sequences. So I replace the string in the double quotes and write name colon Neil space backslash n age colon 21 backslash n nationality colon Indian. Now let's run the program to see the output. So as you can see, the program printed the statements on different lines. So I will stop over here. In the next video, we will write another C++ program which will take two numbers from the user as input and prints that sum on the screen. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching it. Meet you in the next lecture.